Good morning, students of class 9. You're welcome back to the e-classes now. Let's continue our lesson in history. We are doing socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. We have reached 1.2. This is the subtitle. You go through this 1.2. When you are reading the book, you always look at the subtitle. 1.2, Industrial Society and Social Change. So now here in this subtitle, we'll learn a lot about industrial workers and their condition as well as social change. Number one, there are altogether 9 points over here. We'll go through one by one. Various political ideas. In our previous class, we have learned about radicals, conservatives and liberals, their ideas. So, various political ideas of liberals, radicals and conservatives were a signs of a new time. It was a sign of a new time. A new time was coming. So now changes will take place. Number 2, it was a time when new cities and industries came up. It was a time during this 19th century, early 19th century, industries came up and new cities also came up. The cities were growing. So this has attracted, since the industries came up, it attracted a lot of people from neighboring areas, from villages, rural areas to work in the industries. So at that time, cities and industries came up, even railways expanded, railway lines were laid down and people worked there also, and the industrial revolution occurred. Occurred means took place. So industrial revolution took place means industries were set up everywhere in small towns, cities, everywhere. Many industries came up. Industrialization brought men, women and children to the factories from rural areas. Many people, they thronged towards or rushed towards cities in order to get the job in the industries. So they rushed towards their factories. Work hours, they got the job. Many of them, they got the job. So, but the work hours were long. They had to work long hours and the wages were poor. They were paid very low. Unemployment was common. There were a lot of unemployed people. It was common during low demand, especially when there was no demand of industrial goods. When there was no demand for industrial goods, so the industries closed down and there were a lot of unemployed people. Number 5, since towns and cities were growing rapidly, cities and towns were growing rapidly and industries were being set up, housing and sanitation became a problem. Housing, where will the workers live? In the cities. Slums came up. Sanitation means cleanliness. So, housing and sanitation were problems. People had to live in dirty conditions, poor environment, as well as there was a problem of housing, because most of the people, they came to the cities hoping to get the job, and many of them, they got the job, but they had no place to live. So liberal and radicals searched for a solution. So for these issues of housing and sanitations, liberal and radicals began to think, trying to find out the solution to these issues. Issues means housing and sanitation. So now all industries were privately run. Most of the industries were privately owned or maintained and managed by private individuals. So it is privately run, and liberal and radical themselves were the owner of these industries or property owners and employers. Employers means the owners who employed laborers, workers. So radicals and liberals, they themselves were the owner of this property or industries. So what they want now? So they themselves were often property owners and employers, and they thought, what they thought? They thought that the benefit would be achieved, more profit would be achieved if the workers are healthy, educated, if they are educated or if they are healthy, So naturally they will earn more profit will come, because they work continuously in the industries, because those industries were owned and managed by liberals and radicals. They were property owners. So they thought that the workers must be healthy and educated. How can they be healthy if they live in this poor condition and without a home and without sanitation? So something has to be done for these workers, they began to think. So they believed what they believed. Who? They means who? The radicals and the liberals. Liberals and radicals believe if freedom of individual is given, if people are given freedom, and if poor could labor, if poor could work hard, and employees and the owners, liberal and radicals, industrial owners, if employers could operate without hurdles, without any difficulties, then naturally the society would develop. So society would develop means the workers will be healthy, they will keep on working continuously, the factory owner will have more profit, and naturally they will provide more wages. More wages means their living standard will increase and the society will change. So in this way liberals and radicals thought, and they tried to find out the solution to this. Many men, women wanted change, those who wanted change. During this 19th century, men, women who wanted change, they supported liberals and radicals because of their way of thinking, way of changing the society, way of finding the problem to the housing and sanitation. Many men, women who wanted to change, they supported and rallied behind liberals and radicals. They supported liberals and radicals during the 19th century. So now we will continue more in our next class. So you go through this, go through the subtitle 1.2, Industrial Society and Social Change. You go through that. We have not completed, we have reached half. So in our next class we will continue the remaining half. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class and carry on our lesson in the Industrial Society and Social Change. We'll continue half our life. So that's all for today. Stay at home, learn, do reading and writing as well. Don't waste your time. So that's all. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you very much.